Welcome back to Mental Models Daily, where we explore one mental model each day to help you elevate your daily decision making. Today we're diving into a concept that profoundly shapes our thinking and behavior: scarcity. Scarcity is the fundamental economic principle that human wants exceed available resources. But it's more than just an economic concept. It's a psychological state that changes how we think and decide. When we perceive something as scarce, whether it's time, money, or opportunity, our brains give it heightened importance and attention. Think of it as a mental magnifying glass that makes scarce resources appear larger and more valuable, while simultaneously narrowing our cognitive bandwidth. A compelling historical example of scarcity's power comes from the oil crisis of the 1970s. When OPEC imposed an oil embargo in 1973, the perception of gasoline scarcity created nationwide panic in the United States. Despite the fact that the actual reduction in supply was relatively modest, the psychological impact was profound. People waited in long lines at gas stations, sometimes for hours, to fill their tanks. The perceived scarcity didn't just affect fuel purchases, it influenced broader economic decisions, political attitudes, and even car design for decades to come. In today's business world, consider how Oatly transformed a basic grain into a premium product. When the oat milk company entered the US market, they deliberately limited their distribution channels, focusing initially on high-end coffee shops. The resulting scarcity, with baristas rationing Oatly and consumers unable to reliably find it in stores, created a buzz that traditional marketing couldn't have achieved. By 2018, the scarcity had reached such levels that Oatly was being resold on Amazon at markup prices of up to 10 times the retail value. They weren't just selling a plant-based milk alternative, they were leveraging the psychology of scarcity to create perceived value and urgency. So, how can we apply the concept of scarcity in our daily lives? Firstly, we can use it to recognize when scarcity might be clouding our judgment. When making decisions under pressure of limited time, money, or options, pause and ask whether scarcity is making the opportunity seem more valuable than it actually is. It's like having a cognitive filter that helps you separate genuine value from artificially inflated scarcity value. Secondly, we can apply it to increase our productivity and focus. By creating artificial scarcity of our work time through techniques like time boxing or setting strict deadlines, we can heighten our focus and efficiency. It's like having a mental spotlight that intensifies when resources are constrained. Thirdly, we can use it to better understand and manage consumer behavior, whether in business or personal contexts. Recognizing that scarcity drives action can help you create more compelling offers, more effective deadlines, and more motivating incentives. It's like having a psychological lever that can initiate movement when applied correctly. In conclusion, scarcity is not just an external condition, but a powerful mental state that shapes our perceptions, decisions, and actions. By understanding its influence, we can better navigate situations where resources are limited, avoid the pitfalls of scarcity-based thinking, and even strategically use scarcity to our advantage. In a world where limitations are inevitable, understanding scarcity gives us a tool for making better choices amidst constraints. Thank you for joining me today on Mental Models Daily. Until next time, may your resources be abundant, your decisions be unclouded by false scarcity, and your attention be focused on what truly matters. For more mental models, please visit mentalmodelsdaily.com or find us on X or Instagram. Our podcast music was provided by the podcasthost.com and Alitu, the podcast maker. Find your own free podcast music over at thepodcasthost.com free music.